Alrighty guys, welcome back to another LEGO set review from BrickByBrick, and I know everyone's gonna really love this set, and this video will probably do really badly, but I'm gonna do it anyway, because why not? We have set number 41005, this is Heartlake High from 2013. This is a friend set that retails for $49.99 and contained 487 pieces, and of course I didn't buy it at that price, but I ended up with the parts from, and it was like mostly assembled from some random bulk lot of friend sets that I bought for parts, and yeah, so I put this together and figured I'd do this review while it's in this assembled state. I've been going through sorting some out, and I'll probably end up selling a bunch of the random bulk friend sets from that lot, but that's why it's in complete condition, and I figured I did all that work, might as well make a video out of it. So, as far as that, there are 3 mini dolls and a $50 set, and, you know, there's a decent color scheme. We have two little side builds. First up, we have this dude sitting at a picnic table with a nice purple bench, because, you know, it makes a lot of sense to just paint the benches of a picnic table. But it definitely, like, looks wooden, too. It's not like they have these special plastic benches. Nah, it looks like they've painted some wood purple. But he's just sitting here at a table, and the one interesting feature about this one is that we don't have to have the minifigures sitting, like, we don't have to have them sitting here with the table, like, in front of them, like they have to do in some city sets. But here, they actually design it so you slide their feet underneath the table. You have to raise their hands up, too. But they can actually, like, full-on sit at the table, which is nice. And, you know, nice change from kind of our standard LEGO picnic tables. And you can fit 2 figures on each side. You could maybe squeeze in a third, but I think it's designed to comfortably seat 2. But let's see. Yeah, you could fit 6 people at this table if you really wanted to. So I guess that's pretty well designed, but still, it's just a tad weird that it just randomly has purple seats, which I think is a case of them unnecessarily bringing in random bright colors to friend sets, which happened a lot, particularly in the early years of the theme. And, I mean, you saw it, but I didn't mention that it does have one of these laptop pieces, which I guess they can use to do some schoolwork, or non-school work, if they wanted to. And one thing that I've always loved about this piece is how they get the logo right there to look like the logo of the computer. And yeah, that's a nice little touch, but that can be folded up as well, and it just sits there loosely. We also have this bike here, which presumably Stephanie uses to get to school, and it does have this backpack piece, which is just stuck on the stud on the back, and, you know, you could use that in a minifigure's hand as well if you wanted to. But it's designed to be molded like a backpack, and this particular printed design of it is exclusive to this set, and has remained so. So that's kind of cool. I like the molding for the straps, but, you know, it's a very Friends-specific piece. And I kind of wish they designed it a little bit more slightly neutral in color and design so that it could be used in city sets as well. And it would have been nice to get a neck bracket so that, or some form of neck bracket so that it could be worn by a minifigure. But the bike is just a medium-Azor bike, which appeared in a lot of friend sets. You know, it's probably the most common color of bike for friend sets. And we also get this basketball hoop, which is a basketball, which is really just an orange soccer ball. So I guess that makes sense, for sure. But, you know, it's got a basketball hoop. I like the sticker design. I think they did a decent job for branding it with the school, but it would have been more useful if it wasn't purple. But I guess maybe the purple makes sense. It seems to be one of the school's colors. And, you know, you can take that and you can throw it up there if you wanted to, and just try and get it in. I would, this is an easy fix, but I would have liked to see the instructions tell you to put that there, because it doesn't become a lot easier to knock off, and then you can rest that between 4 studs so that you don't have your basketball rolling all around. The school's color scheme consists primarily of this cool yellow color and dark blue for the roofs, but there's a little bit of medium azure and this, like, lavender color throughout, as well as white for all the doors. But, you know, starting with just the front entrance, you got these little flowers outside, and a little bit of space to pose figures, say, on their way into the school. One of the big issues that I'll point out right now is that, yes, there's a lot of space to pose figures, but there's not a lot of figures, and you really need to have a bunch of other friend sets in order to have enough people to actually make this school make sense. But, you know, without that issue, the school still kind of doesn't make sense, because in order to go to the bathroom, you have to go outside, as the only entrance to the restroom is over here, and you trip over the toilet to get in. But we'll talk about that in just a second. Just as far as the rest of the external appearance, you got this stickered high school sign. This should be applied, you know, correctly. It just isn't, and I don't care enough to change it. And over here, we just got some windows. The exterior design of these two classrooms is the same, and you can actually, you know, kind of modularize this high school. If you got multiple of the set, you could actually just keep doing this and keep changing it around. Or you could make it a really tall high school and just go like that. Then the second roof kind of doesn't make sense, but, you know, it can be done. And, you know, your bathroom is just kind of sitting there still, but now you've got a nice big tower. And you could also, alternatively, and this is the one that I kind of like most, I think, is when, or like of the ability to change it around. I think if you were going to change it around, this is the way to do it. Got a pin loose here. But then I would take this and do that. And then just throw that right there. I think that getting a little bit of a symmetrical look kind of works, and then you can check the bathroom on whatever end you like. But yeah, so you're going to change it around and make it a one floor. This is what I would recommend doing. But the default arrangement works pretty well. And before we look any closer at the individual sections, this is just a basic layout of the high school. In here we have the main hallway / also cafeteria. Over here we have the bathroom, which is still just weird because you have to go outside or bust down the lockers in order to get in through the back. But then you kind of lose your privacy, just a little. And then up here we have the main classroom for learning. Science or biology, maybe, is what I would assume is supposed to be taught here. But you also got a little bit of chemistry as well, and astronomy. So I guess just general sciences classroom. And then over here we have the art and music room, which are the only two classrooms that are included in the set by default. Maybe it would have been nice to see like an add-on set instead of, I think they did like $10 bedroom sets that year. Maybe it would have been nice to get like classroom sets instead, so that you could expand your high school and actually be able to, you know, teach everything. Like hanging up flyers, because apparently that's something people need to learn how to do here, if they're going to hang them like that. Again, that's just bad sticker placement, but I wasn't the one who applied the stickers, so don't blame me. I just didn't reapply all of them. But yeah, this is the bathroom. Nice and little spacious area where you have to stick your feet up against the wall in order to sit on the toilet. But, you know, it's a bathroom. It's got a toilet and a sink. I maybe would have liked to see the sink and the toilet swap places, because you know you can kind of walk around a sink, but when the toilet takes up the entire bathroom, then you run into some other issues there. But you know, you could also alternatively move them both back here if you want the bathroom to actually have enough space for people. But again, it's, you know, easily customizable, so do whatever you would most like. I just think that this layout makes a little bit more sense, but you know, walking into toilets is always fun, so I guess I see why they added that in there. The one thing that's particularly interesting about this little bathroom build, just build-wise, is that they do use a Technic 1x2 brick in order to simulate the little hole for the drain in the sink. And then inside the main doors, once you enter the building, you're immediately greeted by the cafeteria as well as the hallway / lockers, which isn't really a hallway, it's more of just a wall. But you can remove the top floor classroom just so we can see inside a little bit better. And on the wall we have this sort of bulletin board thing going on here with hair stuck behind the sticker. Awesome. But yeah, you got this little bulletin board thing, and you know, shows a magic show, which I believe was one of the other sets that came out this year, or the year this was released, not this year. But yeah, I mean, that's that. There's a little bench in front of it, which is a little bit hard for figures to balance on. They sort of feel like they want to fall over kind of make it work. And since this is at the inside of a panel, they can actually fit their hair pieces. If it wasn't, they would have to sit on the front and then basically fall over a little bit more easily. And then we have the lockers here, which are just done with these door frames and then panels in the back to give it a little bit of space. Hopefully, actually no, I guess you can probably fit the backpack with the doors closed. So that's good, functional. But yeah, that's all we get for lockers. So it doesn't really replicate the whole wall of lockers that you get in traditional high school. You could also remove these and place them wherever else you want. It's very easy to do that, which is true of a lot of things in the set. And over here we have the prices or menu for the cafeteria, which has a printed cash register as well, and some sandwiches. And they sell milk and juice, which those are cool to get. Those are nice prints, which came in a lot of friend sets. But I guess all you can eat is sandwiches. And I guess the only place to eat them is outside or on this little bench here. And I guess whoever teaches art and music must also run the cafeteria, because the only way to get into the cafeteria behind, well, I mean, I guess it's not the only way, but it does lead straight into the art classroom, so I don't know. Or maybe everyone just has to go behind the register to get to art class. Either way, it's a little bit weird. But inside the art classroom, there's not too much going on. I got this little easel here, which can tilt up and down and swivel around, because it's just on a jumper plate there. And then we have this modified tile, which just has painting on there, or presumably a painting, as we'll see in a second, because there's a paintbrush included in one of these drawers in the bottom one. It's got the traditional paintbrush that was introduced to the Series 4 Painter minifigure. And in the top one, we've got a white, or a yellow, and a medium azure tile. I don't know what those are supposed to be, maybe some sort of fabric or something. I know they use them for fabric in other sets, but maybe not here. And then on the top of the set of drawers, we've got what looks to be 4 little jars of paint, which are just paint. And then in the corner, we've got a little piece of sheet music, as well as a guitar. The sheet music is on a just little stand here. And then we got 2 seats up here, which these ones are really hard for people to sit on. This one's a little bit easier because you're up against the wall still. But this one, if anyone touches you, you're down. You're gone, out of class. And obviously you can pull that off the wall and use it as a real guitar. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of a decent room. This apple likes to fall over, so it's difficult to paint it. I mean, I guess it's supposed to be pictured like that, but yeah. And I guess you really can't get to the same angle without covering it, so I don't know. It's all right. It is what it is. And then we have the science class, I guess is what it is, where you can have a teacher stand up front in the classroom who doesn't really want to stand because friends mini dolls like to fall over before they attach to studs. What the heck? There we go. That was a nice, 30 seconds of attempting to stand a minifigure there. As well as, we got 2 seats for 2 students, because this school was designed for 2 students, which does not seem very budget effective. But I guess if that's the way Heartlake City wants to roll, whatever. And then you've got some drawings of owls on the little chalkboard here, which, I don't know, I guess owls are very important, and that's what they're learning about. And they've also brought in an owl, or that's a stuffed owl, or something. There's a telescope here. I like the look of the desks in the back, which, yes, it's very easy to knock people off. And I guess there's a seat here in order for students to use this microscope, which they can't really sit in this seat very well at all. So I guess it's hard to look at the microscope. And generally, in order to look at a microscope, you need to be above the eyepiece, which means you'd have to maybe that's actually there for them to stand, which would be a little weird. But you do have one of these potion pieces originally from Series 4 of the CMFs, which this is always really cool to get. So I appreciate that. And then I like the look of this little counter area. That looks really nice and does actually look school-like, so I like that. The desks are a little bit whatever. And then this over here, I don't know what I don't know about the design of using the same thing as the legs for the desks, but then just having a green brick in the back. And the stickers on the fronts of these books make them look like math and biology. And the biology one has some flowers inside, and these are just the leftover flowers from the ones out in the front. They give you 4 on a sprue, and those each use 3, so you just have 2 pink flowers left over. And then inside the math book, someone is writing letters to, I don't know, the math book editors, I guess. And there's just a sticker of the world, and whoever owned this set did not know that the world is upside down, or, you know, they thought the world was upside down. So South America and North America have flopped, and yeah. I don't know. I can't explain that. They do have a clock, though, on the top of the building. This would be at the very top when everything's all assembled. So, yeah. It's just a very simple assembly to remove and place on top of whatever section you'd like. And then we've got these 2 people. Their names are Stephanie and Matthew. And Matthew is only in this set, and I believe his torso and legs, if you could call them that, are exclusive to this one as well. I think Stephanie's appear in other sets, but this particular combination is exclusive here, possibly. Yeah. Everything about... Oh no, never mind. Matthew's torso and legs are not exclusive to this one, so I guess it's just this combination of stuff that is. He has Cole's hair from Rebooted onwards. Well, then, like, they used it in a show before, but they actually used it physically in Rebooted. And Stephanie has Stephanie's hair that they introduced especially for Friends, and it has a hole on the top that they attach a bow to. And as far as back printing, there is none, except for just going around for the shoes, but that's it. And then the teacher character is named Mrs. Stevens, or Miss Stevens, and it's, you know, it's a teacher. It's actually slightly more interesting than the others, as this is one of the few Friends mini doll faces that has included glasses like this. So that's kind of cool. And the torso is a torso, and the legs are legs, and her hair is actually exclusive in this color, so maybe that's useful for something. And I guess she's giving it a gold coin or something instead of a gold star, because I don't think they could mold the star. I mean, they had a star piece, didn't they? Right? I'm pretty sure that existed, so maybe I don't know why they didn't just mold that and put gold, but I guess maybe she just pays her students to be there, and that's why there are only so many students, because she can't afford more. Yeah, overall this set is okay. It's not very effective for a high school, but it is the best one that we've gotten, since it's one of the only ones we've gotten. We will be getting a new one with the hidden side sets in August, so, you know, that'll be cool to see. It'll probably be better than this one, because it's not hard. I think the biggest drawbacks here are just that, first of all, there's not enough students or space for students. Like, with Friends, mini dolls, it seems, are more expensive than minifigures, so they can include less of them in a certain size set. So getting only 3 here, that's typical of Friends. Yes, it would have been nice to see more. Maybe we could have had a different music and art teacher so that the same person doesn't have to teach the entire school. Just a suggestion. Or even maybe a gym teacher, so that, you know, this basketball hoop actually makes sense. But I don't know. I think otherwise it's just the layout of this thing is weird. Like, I mean, I get the mini doll, or the whole mini doll thing. I get that that's something that's a little bit hard to do with their budgeting or whatever. But like having a bathroom outside, or with a door only leading outside. I mean, I guess even with just a door leading outside at all, that's weird. Like, maybe that's a thing in Denmark or something, but definitely not around here. I don't know. I just find that in particular odd. I get the fact that there's no hallways, because that would be a little bit hard to do, but even then making the cafeteria lead into the other, or the cafeteria counter leading by default into this classroom, when they could have had it lead by default over here, where there's obviously a wall, because you can't access the bathroom from behind, because it has a different door. but there's no suggestion of doors for this classroom, so the only suggestion is the walking around back there, which is just weird. And yeah, that's basically general consensus of the set, is that it's just weird. For, kids who aren't going to think about how weird it is, they might enjoy it, but I think even then, those kids are going to want, either more students or more classrooms so they can teach other things, or just more classroom space so that they can have more of their mini dolls actually learning in classrooms instead of having 2 desks and kicking all the other kids to the curb to learn something else or nothing at all. So, I don't know, that's kind of where I'm at with this set. I think it's a decent effort, and it looks okay from the outside. It's one of the less in-your-face frenzy color sets, and I think that cool yellow really helps with that. Like, I don't know, I think that's a good color here, the cool yellow and the dark blue. I think the purple is a little bit much, but, if you were to just take out that purple and replace it with maybe dark blue, I think this is a pretty good-looking school from the outside. It's just weird. And if you did get another one of this set, it is modular, and you would be able to attach the other classrooms in. I don't know what you'd do with the other, center base section, but I don't know. I don't really need to figure that out. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye, everyone.